What's the deal, YouTube? What's the deal? What's the deal, y'all? Welcome and welcome back to the channel. Welcome and welcome back to the channel, nigga. So first and foremost, I'd like to say I hope all of y'all are vibrating at a high frequency, not letting no negative energy stop your positive energy. And as you can see by the title, right, we need to be separated by our genetics, man. It's only fair. It's only fair. And I know I've been talking about a lot of gang stalking shit on this channel, but fuck the bullshit, right? That's not all that matters, right? What matters is my black people, all of my nine ether beings, we need to be separated from the inorganic species. You know what I'm saying? And I'm going to point out some reasons that I may have pointed out before, but I'm going to point them out again and break them down on why we need to be separated, why it's not healthy at all for our species, for black people, why it's not healthy at all for us to be around the inorganic species. So, fuck, bro. I already started the video. Now I gotta fucking finish the video, right? So that's what you have to understand. We are two different species. Like I tell y'all all the time, we are two different species. The inorganic species, everybody that can't take no sun, they are different from us. They look similar because of the outer appearance of the legs, the arms, the physical vessel. But even with the same physical vessels, we have a lot of different characteristics about those physical vessels, right? So the inorganic species, what you have to know, they don't have a soul, right? And it's not me saying this to be fucked up. They don't have a soul. That's the science behind their species. And when you don't have a soul, you do a lot of careless shit. You know what I'm saying? You do a lot of careless shit. You don't have no consideration. You lack those traits that will let you vibrate on a certain frequency because of your genetics, right? So we need to be separated from these beings, man. We need to be separated from the inorganic species, and more of my people need to become aware that it's two different species, that they're different species. Due to their inability to absorb the UV radiation, it naturally puts them on a low vibration. Some of them are able to vibrate high, but it naturally puts them on a low vibration. Also, due to their genetics, it puts them on a lower thinking capacity as us, than on a lower thinking capacity than us. You know what I'm saying? It puts them on a lower thinking capacity because of their genetics. And with them being on a lower thinking capacity, that makes it difficult for us to do regular shit, right? And for instance, like with the gang stalking shit, you know what I'm saying? That's how people were even able to get gang stalked for so long and not know what's going on. They at first they just thought it was a coincidence, an accident, all the shit. But and people only thought that it was a coincidence and an accident and all of the stuff because we have these people on the planet that do this shit on a daily basis. They exhibit the behavior of them not paying attention. They exhibit the behavior of the carelessness behavior, you know what I'm saying, the low vibrational behavior. So for the longest, you might be getting gang stalked and all this shit, and you just think it's white people doing bullshit, Hispanics doing bullshit, right? But that's what they do, and that's how there's able to be an organization that replicates that behavior, and they can fuck with people because we have a species that's on this planet that is not able to critically think. They're different from us, right? They're different from us. If black people were just to leave the planet, these motherfuckers would just be going crazy, bro. They'll be going crazy. These people are a different species than us. There's nothing wrong with that, but we need to be separated for a lot of reasons. One of the reasons being, like I just stated, they don't have a fucking soul. And with them not having a soul, they don't have no compassion, no consideration. And I'm talking about, like, of course they'll have the compassion and consideration where it's expected, where it's obvious, like, okay, you're supposed to, you know what I'm saying, everybody's watching you, so, you know what I'm saying, do your shit, have compassion, consideration. But when they're just doing their shit, just living life, just moving out and about, doing their shit, they don't have no consideration or compassion. It's not their fault, it's because of their genetics. And it's something that we have to be aware of, right? It's something that we have to be aware of. So more of our people can be aware of this shit. Maybe we can get some segregation. It's already going to happen regardless because of the new energy and the sun and all this shit. But and not the sun and all this shit. I don't want to sound disrespectful to the sun, right? But it's already happening though. You know what I'm saying? It's already happening. So We just have to make our I just have to, or we have to make our people more aware. I'm talking to my black people. We have to make our people more aware of their species and be more aware of the differences between us and them. You know what I'm saying? We don't need to be nowhere around these beings, bro. And I try to vibrate high, and you know what I'm saying, because I understand that some of them are being gang stalked. But regardless of any of the gang stalking shit, their species is the one that's organizing this shit. You know what I'm saying? We need to be separated because it's difficult. It's hard to live life around a species with no consideration, with no compassion, with animal DNA. That's difficult. And it will be easy to live life around this species if they were aware of their genetics and they were aware that there's a difference. But a lot of these people are not aware, and if they were aware, or if just more black people were aware, we could maybe get some segregation, because we don't need to be nowhere around these beings. These beings make it difficult to be around them. You know what I'm saying? With their behavior and all this shit. You know what I'm saying? And that's how people was able to, that's how people were getting gang stalked for years and years and years. You getting gang stalked for years and years and years, and you don't even know it, because you think you're just having a bad day. You think it's just some white people with some road rage, or some Hispanics with some road rage, etc., right? But it's this species on the planet, and that's what they do. That's their behavior. You know what I'm saying? That's their behavior. We need to be separated. We don't need no black doctor. I mean, we don't need no, yeah, true, too, that too. We don't need no black doctors diagnosing no white patients. We definitely don't need no white patients, no white doctors. You know what I'm saying? No, yeah, no white doctors diagnosing no black patients. You know what I'm saying? We don't need these people teaching our kids or none of this shit. We need to be separated by our genetics. That only makes sense. You don't see no fucking chihuahua in the jungle with no goddamn wolf, or no lion, or no tiger. You see the chihuahua with the chihuahuas. You see the lions with the lions. Because they will be able to coexist with one another without it being any fucking low vibrational energy. When you're dealing with the inorganic species and they think that we're the same species, they're careless, bro. So I tell y'all, don't let them prepare your food. Don't let them do none of that shit. These beings are careless. They don't have a soul. You have to know that shit. And a lot of shit that you're not okay with, they will be okay with them being the inorganic species and them not having a soul, right? They could walk in front of a motherfucking car and not feel nothing. You walk in front of a car, that shit might scare the fuck out you. They don't have a soul. They were created differently from us. So all my black people, you have to know that the inorganic species, I made plenty of videos on explaining what the inorganic species is. They do not have a soul. They are completely different from us. Just like you have a wolf and you have a Siberian husky. They look similar, but they have two different genetics. They have a different personality, all of the shit. Because they're two different species and they're separated. There's no wolves getting fed no pedigree, and there's no dogs getting fed no, you know what I'm saying, all in the jungle, all in the snow and all the shit. Two different species. Because if you put a wolf around a bunch of dogs, the fucking dogs are going to irritate the fuck out the wolf because they're different species, right? Vice versa. You put a dog around a bunch of wolves, same shit. The wolves might get irritated because the dog is a different species. The wolf's on a higher frequency. The wolf knows how to survive, knows how to hunt, knows how to withstand cold temperatures, etc. The dog can't do that. The dog can only bark. We're different species. We can absorb the sunlight. We need to be separated from these beings. It's just the truth, bro. We need to be separated. They don't have no consideration. It's just the truth. We need to be separated from the inorganic species, man. We don't need to be nowhere around these beings. You know, we do not need to be nowhere around these beings. More people have to be, or have to be aware that they're different species. My black people got to be aware these people are different species, bro. They're different species. And if this species wasn't on the planet, it wouldn't be no gang stalking. It wouldn't be none of that shit, bro. It wouldn't be none of that shit on this planet if this species was not on this planet. We are dealing with a fucking biological weapon. These beings are something terrible, bro. Like I told y'all in the last video, or in one of the previous videos, if the inorganic species was to just disappear, black people would not be working jobs and all that shit, bro. Living life how we're living on this planet. People are only doing this shit because the inorganic species is not asking no fucking questions. And that's why they were created, to not ask no questions. to not ask no questions. So you get on this planet, you already your family and all the shit the family you was placed in is already programmed by the inorganic beings that's been on the planet a little bit longer, right? And they just keep it going with the bullshit. Yeah, we just working and paying bills on this planet. We're not supposed to be living like this, right? And we damn sure not supposed to be living around a species that doesn't have no connection to the planet. You know how fucking dangerous it is? My people don't even some of my people don't even question this shit. Some of y'all probably do. But do you know how dangerous it is to be on a planet with a species that has no connection to that planet? They have no connection to and you're connected to the planet. You're connected to the planet, and we are on this planet with a whole, not just 100,000 or 1,000,000. We have a whole fucking species that's on this planet just living life. And on a daily basis, they do shit to lower the vibration. And they're also being fed poison. So all my black people listen to this shit. They're being fed poison. It's white people, Mexicans, Asians, etc. that wake up and go right to McDonald's and eat the poison. And then they go to their fucking job and they don't ask no questions. And we have a whole fucking billion people on this planet that are like that. You know what I'm saying? My black people, some of my black people may or may not ask questions, but I'm pretty sure they will because shit's not fair and it's not fair and for our shit. You know what I'm saying? It's not fair. It's not in our favor. So we're going to question shit. The inorganic species is never going to ask no fucking questions, bro. Even if it wasn't fair for them. They're not going to ask, why am I on this planet and I can't take no fucking sunlight? They're not going to question that shit. And that's irritating, right? Dealing with just one person that thinks like that. We have a whole fucking 4 billion people on this planet that cannot take no sunlight. They're just here, bro. We need to be separated from these beings. We need to be separated. And a nigga be trying to be cool and vibrate high, but it's like, the motherfuckers that saying this shit, y'all could be government aides, anything. And regardless if y'all getting gang stalked or not, this is still the truth. We need to be separated from your species. You know what I'm saying? We need to be separated from your species, bro. And what has black people okay with this shit is the religion shit. And that motherfucking thinking that if most of the inorganic species knows, bro, what I'm trying to say, a lot of black people, we already know this shit. We already know that everybody that's not black is going around this fucking planet just acting like fucking barbarians, bro. It's been discussed amongst all of these black families, whether they fake families or not. We know this shit. The inorganic species, they do not fucking see this shit. And this is why we need to be fucking separated, bro. They don't see this shit. And a lot of black people be trying to be nice because of this religion fucking spell. Because of this religion shit. This religion punk ass spell. That's why my people be dealing with this fucking bullshit with this species. Right? Because my people think, okay, yeah, we gonna just, if you ask a lot of black people, they know this fucking species, they won't know, like, okay, yeah, the other species, they'll be like, okay, yeah, white people, Mexican, all this, they'll think like that, but they don't know that they're a whole different fucking species than these beings, and that's why they do the shit they do. That's why they do the shit they do. Black people, we already see this shit. They don't fucking see this shit. The inorganic species, they don't fucking see this shit, bro. They do not see this shit. They're a whole different fucking being. They're a whole different species. We do not need to be nowhere near these beings, bro. We don't. We don't need to be nowhere near these beings. They're not supposed to even be on the fucking planet. But I'm saying, like, we don't need to be nowhere near these people, bro. We don't. These motherfuckers are a whole different species. They're a whole different fucking species. That shit is crazy. Reasons why we don't, and it's kind of like a rant, you know what I'm saying? Because I ain't really said nothing informational. This is kind of like a rant, bro, but just dealing with this fucking species, these motherfuckers are so careless, bro. They're so careless. They're just bodies. You have to know that shit. So all my black people, these motherfuckers are just bodies, bro. They're just bodies. The inorganic species, they're just vessels to be used by these fallen angels, these entities, right? To get this low vibrational energy. And when they were created, their creator knew if we create this species with these characteristics, these genetic traits, it's going to be easy to produce a lot of this loose energy. The loose energy is the low vibrational energy that's emitted from your aura, your spiritual body, when you are feeling negative emotions. And we feel negative emotions on a daily basis because we have this species on the planet. Whether it's on the lower level of these motherfuckers not paying attention in traffic, in the store, etc., giving you racist vibes, etc., or if it's on a higher level when we got these motherfuckers poisoning our crops and our fruits and our vegetables and working in these record labels, programming all this low vibrational shit into your subconscious. Regardless, these motherfuckers, whatever level it's on, these beings are terrible, bro. They're terrible. You know what I'm saying? They're terrible. This species is horrible. We need to be separated from this species. They were created to destroy fucking planets, bro. Put the inorganic species on any planet, and they're gonna start trying to discover shit and trying to build shit the way they feel like it should be built on that planet, and try to run the planet the way they feel like it should be ran. And then there's gonna be NPCs, of course, so they can have the control. The inorganic beings that are a little bit smarter than the rest of them, the elite human beings that are a little bit fucking smarter than the masses. But all of these motherfuckers are dumb, and they dumb us down so we don't see this shit. How do they dumb black people down? With the food, with the music, with the gang violence, with the religion shit, which is a fucking spell. That's why black people walk around. Every black person knows this shit. They know that white people racist. They know that, and I ain't saying every white person's racist, but we know this shit. The inorganic species, for instance, look at it like this. Anybody that's inorganic being watching this shit, white person, Mexican, Asian, etc., look at it like this. You probably look at black people gangbanging and be like, damn, that's some stupid shit. Why are they killing each other? Why are they doing that shit? Why are they this and that, yada, yada? You see this shit. Some black people probably don't see this shit, right? Right? And it may not just be one white person. It's a lot of white people see that shit. A lot of the Mexicans, all this shit, they see that black people be killing each other, right? It's stupid, right? For instance, it's a lot of black people that see that all of you motherfuckers are crazy. Do the bullshit, y'all crazy, you act crazy, all this shit. And we just deal with this shit. A lot of black people under that religion spell. So when they have a day or some shit, or when they have an interaction, or if they're just having some hard times dealing with your species, they'll give it to God and all this shit. Not saying not to give it to God, but they'll be like, oh yeah, I'll have my heaven when I leave and all that shit, thinking that we're supposed to live like this on this planet. We're supposed to be on this planet. My species is supposed to be on this planet. That's why our skin is this color, bitch, so we can absorb the sunlight, right? Your people are not supposed to be on this planet, and y'all don't question that shit. And it's not just one or two or three or four or five or 10 or 20 or 100 people that don't ask no questions. We have a whole fucking species that is having kids and reproducing and teaching their kids the fucking lies, and their kids are growing up vibrating on that same frequency. It's not just one or two or three or four or five or six or 10 or 20 or 100 or 200 or 1,000. It's a whole fucking species of people on this planet, bro, that are not supposed to be on this planet, that are in charge of shit, that are in charge of diagnosing you and your black child when they are different species. We need to be separated by our genetics. We need to be separated by our genetics. That's how they're able to do any gang stalking shit. That's how motherfuckers be getting gang stalked for years and they don't even know what's going on, because you think it's just the inorganic species doing what the inorganic species does. You're not even knowing you're getting gang stalked. You think that's just, you just brush it off as a white person. For the longest, I would just brush it off like it's just a white person, Mexican, doing some bullshit. Because it's the same shit. It's the same shit. And the people that see this shit are possibly the ones that get gang stalked. Because my black people walking around this bitch right now sleep. It's motherfuckers, and you probably black watching this shit thinking you're the same as these motherfuckers too. Until you do your research on genetics and start understanding genetics. We're different from these beings. There's not a fucking animal on this planet with this texture hair that you have as a black man or a black woman. You could take any one of these motherfuckers and put them in the jungle. You're going to find an animal. You're going to find an animal. You're going to find an animal that resembles that same hair texture. You're definitely going to find an animal with that same texture hair. of these beings that can't take no sun. This is what it is. This is what it is, bro. They're different fucking species. And we need to be separated by our genetics. It's gonna happen regardless. It's gonna happen regardless. It's just a little rant. I'm gonna post this shit. It's just the truth, bro. When you dealing with a fucking species with no soul, no consideration, that shit's very draining to your energy. For all my white people, would you want to just wake up every day and you got black people outside your house bumping some loud ass rap music? I'm not talking about the new rap. I'm talking about some old school rap. You know what I'm saying? And not the old school rap like the hip hopper. I'm talking about some old gangster rap. Where they like, or some shit where it's like, yeah, nigga, shoot a nigga, stab a nigga, kill a nigga, shoot a nigga, stab a nigga, you know what I'm saying? Rob a nigga, all this shit. Yeah, some shit like that. Just low vibrational ass shit out your house every day. You wouldn't want to deal with that shit. It'll be irritating. That's how we feel dealing with your fucking species every day. We trying to drive somewhere and we got y'all just confused and shit doing bullshit. Even though it's gang stalkers outside and all this shit too, we still need to be separated, bro. We still need to be separated. You know what I'm saying? It's not fair for my fucking people to have to deal with this shit. It's people right now, and if we get if we were to be able to, if we were to get separated, it would not be no gang stalking, right? Because they're the motherfuckers that's doing that shit. They're the ones that's doing that shit. We need to be separated. We need to be separated like this. Check it out. This is really some real shit. How we need to be separated. We need to have a place on this planet where it's nothing but black people. Nothing but black people, or in the United States, nothing but black people. In every city, every state, we have a fucking designated area, a community where it's nothing but black people. And then we have communities of every race. Cause you got Chinatown, you got fucking Little Mexico, all this shit, Armenia Town. You don't have nothing for the niggas. You got Leimert Park, but you go over there, you got white people trying to come over there and all this shit too. And what my people don't understand is these motherfuckers be doing a lot of witchcraft and all the freaky shit. So it'll be a Martin Luther King parade on Leimert Park. And some white people will be in the mix casting spells and shit. Everybody already vibrating low, so all they gotta do is cast some witchcraft. And they'll send this shit to my people. And my people don't know what the fuck is going on. Now they beefing with each other and all this shit. Now motherfuckers are stabbing each other at the King Parade, all this shit. We need to be separated from these beings, bro. Besides the shit, just being around them. You got white people, you got witches and all this shit, casting spells and shit to cause confusion amongst our species. These motherfuckers are terrible, bro. It might be some white people that hear this shit like, oh, you're a racist, you're a prejudice, nigga. Fuck you. Y'all are some fucking... Let me chill out. Let me chill out. But somebody might hear this shit, other species, they feel a type of way. But this is just some real shit, bro. We a different species. Y'all make it hard for us. You know what I'm saying? I ain't saying like, oh yeah, you make it hard for us to live, the white man, this and that. I'm just saying, just being around y'all. The science behind your species and the science behind my species, y'all drain our energy. Because y'all are on a different frequency. Just being around y'all trying to do shit, and y'all are just vessels for these spirits to jump in y'all bodies and have y'all do bullshit to cause this low vibrational energy. That's what y'all are. That's why y'all were created. If you ever wondering like, why can't I take no sunlight? And I'm a white woman. I'm a white man. All this shit. Why can't I take no sun? Because you were not created to be on this planet and prosper and grow. Y'all have reached y'all peak. Y'all can't evolve no more. The inorganic species. Y'all can't evolve, bro. Y'all can't. Y'all are here to create this loosh. Whether it's being through the gang stalking shit. Whether it's y'all some gang stalkers doing the bullshit, or y'all just walking around living life, not even knowing about no gang stalking, not even knowing about shit, but what y'all was told, the religion shit, the Jesus shit, the story that y'all were told, you know what I'm saying, the story of Caesar Borgia, walking around this bitch not asking no questions. So, I ain't cool, you know what I'm saying, lose my train of thought. I'm about to smoke this ganja, get my mind right. This is just something that's some real shit. We need to be separated by our genetics because it's not fair for my people to have to deal with a species that doesn't have no consideration or no soul, bro. You know what I'm saying? That's not no fair shit. We got to deal with this shit. And I'm telling you, to all my white people, all that shit, I'm not the only motherfucker that feel like this. It's black people that feel like this. They just don't want to go to hell. They not even knowing they already living in the hell, nigga. You already in the hell simulation. Why the fuck you think? And to all my black people, listen to this. Enjoy your experience. Enjoy this experience. on this planet, this is the only place where you're going to see these beings. Think about what I'm saying. These beings are nowhere in the fucking cosmos. This species, that's why they get abducted and all that shit and experimented on. Cause these beings, have never been. These are only on this planet. They were created and placed on this planet in this simulation. In the afterlife, you're not gonna see no inorganic fucking being, bro. You're not in your afterlife. They're a whole different species. We have two different creators. They were created to do what they're doing. They were created to have low vibrational energy, to be evil and all this shit. You got motherfuckers that are working jobs and doing all the regular shit because they don't have access to that evil. If they had access to drink some fucking baby blood and do some bullshit to a child and they'll get a couple dollars, they will fucking do that shit, bro. Easy, no question. You being black, you might have to be convinced to do that shit. They might have to tell you, like, oh yeah, you got to do this shit, drink this baby blood, or we're not going to promote your album. You're not going to sell no albums. You know what I'm saying? So motherfuckers be like, damn, fuck it, I'll do this shit, you know what I'm saying? Then they slowly but surely fall off because they're not fucking with that shit. The inorganic species does not need no convincing to drink no baby blood. They don't. We need to be separated by our fucking genetics, bro. That's just some real shit. A lot of black people feel like this. All my inorganic beings, you know what I'm saying? A lot of my people feel, it's not funny. It's not funny at all. A lot of my people feel like this. They just don't want to sound racist. And it's not racist. That like I told y'all, that shit don't exist. Black people can be racist to a Jamaican or African or some shit because we're the same species. And even Africans are different species. But that makes more sense. The way they talk about this shit is ignorant. A white person being racist to somebody black, that's out of ignorance. That's like a fucking dog running up to a wolf and get the barking at the wolf. The wolf is like, nigga, you're a dog, bro. You can't fuck with me. You're in a different frequency. You're a different species. The dog like, right, yeah, fuck you, wolf, fuck you, yada, yada. And the wolf is like, nigga, this dumbass fucking dog is ignorant. That's how it is with the inorganic species with the racist shit. Right? We got to be separated by our genetics. We need to be separated by our genetics. Something that we need to do. It needs to happen. I'm just telling y'all. I'm just pointing out some shit y'all already know. All this gang stalking shit and all this shit, that's the inorganic species doing that shit. That's them. You know what I'm saying? That's them. We need to be separated, bro. I ain't gonna make this shit too much longer, but it's just how I'm feeling right now. We need to be separated. I shouldn't feel like when I go to the store and all this shit, like, damn, I gotta go to the store and do this and do that, yada, yada. And it's only with the inorganic beings, unless it's some black gang stalkers and you recognize those, you know what I'm saying? And they wouldn't be doing no fucking gang stalking if it wasn't for this species. Because who's organizing this shit? Who's in control of this shit, unfortunately? This inorganic race, bro. These Cabbage Patch Kids. These motherfuckers were born in incubators. They come from ancestors of motherfuckers that were born in a fucking incubator a day old in a couple minutes. And they grew up and had kids. And these are the motherfuckers we are around right now on a daily basis. These motherfuckers on this planet, bro. And to my black people, enjoy your experience on this planet. It's not supposed to be like this regardless. We gonna come back down to this bitch and have better experiences without the inorganic species, but enjoy your life. It's a lot of our people that didn't come down to this planet because this species is on this planet. It's a lot of our fucking people, bro. And before you come down here, you're already aware of what you're coming down into. But once you get down here, they wipe your fucking memory. You know what I'm saying? You already coming down here like, yeah, okay, we got the inorganic species on the planet. We here to raise the frequency of the planet. We in these bodies, yada, yada, we spirits and souls. You come down here and get programmed thinking you're a human, like the fucking humans that can't take no sun, and you get the program thinking that you're the same as them. And you wonder why life is hard, etc., or why shit may be difficult for you because you're a different species. And we on this planet with this species that doesn't have no fucking soul, no consideration, or none of this shit. And that is on all of the levels. On a smaller level, you may deal with that just on a daily basis. You driving or you walking or you handling some business, trying to get a job, or you working on your job, or you dealing with a customer, or you doing whatever you're doing, you running your business. You may deal with that on a smaller scale. Them inconsiderate, all the shit, little small shit though, right? Little small shit. They bump into you, not say excuse me, little small shit, right? This is what their species does, though. Then you have the higher scale of the no consideration. That's the motherfuckers poisoning all of the food, right? Poisoning all of the food, poisoning all of the music, poisoning all of the entertainment. poisoning the spirituality with the religion shit. It's all their species, bro. It's all their species. And like I said, some of y'all may be cool, but the majority of y'all are all of y'all are the inorganic species. And the majority of y'all be vibrating low. I ain't gonna make this video too much longer. I don't want to give too much of my energy to this shit. Just want to talk to y'all. We need to be separated. My black people already see this shit. We already see this shit. We already see this shit. You know, to all my black people, just enjoy your experience on this planet. Whether you struggling, whether you fucking balling out, living life, spending 10 bands a day, enjoy your experience. Because these beings are nowhere in the fucking cosmos, bro. It ain't no other planet they are on their own planet, you know what I'm saying? They not, how can I say this shit? They are only here, bro. You ain't gonna go back to your planet or go to where you came from and you're gonna see inorganic beings in the afterlife. You're not gonna see these motherfuckers nowhere but on this planet, in this reality. Because they were created to, this is a loose harvesting farm, right? This planet. And the only way to produce that loose is if you have multiple systems to produce this energy, the negative energy, the low vibrational energy. And these systems, examples of these systems are the religion, right? Inorganic species telling you to do all this shit and you're gonna make it to heaven, telling you to do all the bullshit, right? Not even knowing that you're already living in hell. Another one of these systems is the motherfucking the food, putting all this shit in the food to have you vibrating low, and now you're naturally vibrating low. So all they have to do is walk around and bump into you, these entities, and they feed on your energy. And you already think that it's an accident because you have a species on this planet that doesn't have a fucking soul. So if it's a reptilian walking around feeding on energy, it could go around and feed on your energy. You're going to be like, oh, that's just a white woman walking around. That's just a Mexican woman not paying attention, doing some bullshit what they do. And these are fucking entities walking around this bitch feeding on your energy. Feeding on your energy. You know what I'm saying? We need to be separated from this species. And I ain't gonna make this video too much longer. I'm not. I want to talk to you about this shit. Talking about black people, don't let these motherfuckers lower your vibration, bro. Don't let them lower your vibration. Be aware. Fuck the gang stalking shit, right? The gang stalking shit is to stop my people from waking up and realizing the shit I'm telling y'all. Not just this, it's a lot of shit I don't know about. And the gang stalking shit is to try to stop you from doing your purpose. Your purpose may be to wake your black people up, wake your species up. So they fucking gang stalking you, so that's all you can be talking about. Fuck the gang stalking shit, right? As long as there's species on the planet, that shit don't even fucking matter. It don't even matter if you're getting gang stalked, because regardless if there was an organization or not, you still got this fucking species walking around this bitch, and they're just vessels. So if it was an organization or not, you still gonna be getting gang stalked regardless, as long as we have this species on the planet, because they're just vessels to be used by these spirits. So if it's not a punk ass organization, it's gonna be the motherfucking spirits in the spiritual realm jumping in these motherfuckers' bodies to cause this energy, bro. And like I told you, they don't have no soul, they don't have no consideration, so it's easier for them to do the bullshit because they genetics. These motherfuckers think that black people just, oh yeah, they can run fast, all this shit. No. No. No, you know what I'm saying? That shit don't stop on a fucking basketball court. You know? You stupid bitch. I was trying not to say, I had to let that shit out though. I let that shit out. You stupid bitch, you know what I'm saying? That shit don't stop on the fucking basketball court. They think black people just good at sports and all this shit. We are on a different frequency than y'all. They hinder us so the world can't see this shit, so we can just entertain the fucking NPCs and inorganic species. If it was no black people on this planet would be boring as fuck, bro. Think about it. If it was no black people on this planet and it was just inorganic species, this shit would be dead as fuck. What? The music would be bland. These motherfuckers won't have no motherfucking good food. You know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna say they wouldn't have no good food, but shit, nigga. This planet would be fucked up. It would be boring as fuck if it wasn't no black people on this planet. I'm about to get off this shit, man. I hope all y'all vibrating at a high frequency. Catch y'all on the next one, man. Peace.